This is how I do my oil and filter change for my 2010 Honda Civic 1.8-liter engine sedan. So these are the tools and materials needed to change our oil and filter. So I have 2 jack stands here, 2-ton for each, piece of cardboard where I lay down. If you do have an actual creeper, that would be better, or a piece of foam, a hydraulic jack, drain pan, our engine oil, which is specific to this car, 5W-20, and we're going to be using only 3.7 liter for the change of the oil. And I usually buy the same filter as the brand of my engine oil, but you can always choose whatever you'd like that's specific to your car. And of course our flashlight, a brake cleaner that we're going to be using when we are trying to take out all the dirt from the engine oil bay or compartment. Of course, 2 pieces of gloves, and for this specific bolt, we're going to be using the 17 mil socket, and I'll be using 1/2 inch wrench. So I do have my own checklist here. After I do my engine oil change, I do all the necessary fluid checks, so that I might be showing you in different video later on. And this oil change might take a little bit longer because I am a little bit OCD with some stuff, so I like to go or clean as I go. So yeah, here's the 1/2 inch wrench, and like I said, we're gonna be using the 17 mil socket. So here it is. Just make sure it's properly installed onto the wrench and installed the right way, whether you're going to loosen it or tightening it later. So yeah, like I said, I always like to clean as I go, which normally people don't do that, I guess, or mechanics. Of course, I do have my Bluetooth speaker, and some people, they usually open their hood probably after they do their lifting of their car, but in my case, I can either open my hood first or do the lifting of my car, or not lifting like actual lifting the car, but you know what I mean, just to get the jack stands to the sides of the car and have it that lifted. So okay, so I'm sorry my car is too dirty right now because it has been raining here in Calgary, though not raining, but it was still snowing, even if it's already spring, but it's been snowing and it's melted because it's +10 right now. So yeah, I just show you the engine, and it's specific to that engine oil. So I have 2 pieces of wood here that I normally, or wooden block, that I use to kind of block the rear wheels of my car, just to help it out a little bit for safety. And I actually learned this to one of the guys that I've been watching over YouTube too, and I guess if I do remember him correctly, his name is Chris Fix. And here, this is where you put your jack stand, so make sure there's a metal hit there specific to your car, that you just don't put that elsewhere, but to that specific metal. And it's very pretty obvious too, because you kind of really see it. That wouldn't even actually go, so I have to lift it a little bit more using my hydraulic jack, so I can put that one inside. Here we go. I think that would work now. Perfect. Okay, so now that we have properly placed our jacks, so if you've seen me, I have lifted this one a little bit longer because I don't want to feel like I'm squished at the bottom or down my car. It feels like I'm always like putting not enough leverage or yeah, enough space for me to breathe. Perfect. There you go. So yeah, if you want a little bit higher, then you can do so. It's up to you, but for me, that's just that height is perfect. Okay. All right, and we're gonna slowly make sure that you do the hydraulic jacks to be placed down slowly, so you don't hit yourself or you don't really, you know, that's just for safety precautions too. So after that, when everything has been placed in order there for the jack stands, we're gonna open our engine. Yeah. So that's the bolt. So that will be the one that we're gonna take it out and just unbolt it and loosen it. And we're gonna completely take it out from the bay. So we have access to the old engine and we're gonna take all of those bad stuff and replace it with a new one. Okay. This can be very, very tight. So what you can do is, if you can use your two hands to actually loosen it, because lefty loosey, righty tighty. So yeah, I was able to do that using my two hands, and now we're gonna unscrew it and take it out. And just be very careful when you do this, because it might really splash onto your face or onto your hand towards your arm, so just do it carefully. But if you don't mind getting soaked with this nasty oil, it's up to you. Because it would take some time for this to actually completely drain out. But if it's a little bit dripping, then I guess we can put the bolt back, but you have to clean the bolt before. And if you do have a gasket, in my case, I totally forgot to buy a new gasket. Okay, so like I said, we only need 3.7 liter for the replacement of the oil. And this container or this jug actually has a 4.7. So that means we're having a 1 liter extra for this. But I'm gonna show you later. I'll probably be using more than 3.7, or not 3.7, but there will be a little bit remaining, like probably 1 quart, is because I'm gonna put extra oil inside the oil filter. So this is the funnel that I'm gonna be using to put the engine oil. And yeah, just gonna make sure that your bolt is clean before you actually put it back. Yeah, I've been dripping so much oil actually, but I'm trying not to, because I don't want to clean up the things that I could just do it right the first time. So it's still dripping right there. So wait until there's only like tiny dripping, which in this case this one is fine. So I'm not sure if you guys would actually tell me or advise me to do it better, because in this case I totally forgot to take out the filter while I did the engine oil. Yeah, so in this case I just did, which I should have done it together, but like I said, I guess it's still fine. And as long as you've done everything correctly too, and it's clean and it's safe, and I am so into making sure that everything that I do is clean and is tight. Sometimes overly tight, but you don't want this one to be overly tight too, right? So, but you're gonna use your wrench and 17 mil socket later too to tighten a little bit, but don't tighten it too much. That's what my mechanic told me before. Okay, so that should be tightened right now. It's just going to make sure that you don't have drippings too by the end of the entire engine oil change. You can check that one after you do the engine oil replacement. So that's the filter. If you can see the white thing, white round stuff right there, that's the engine fuel. Sorry, that's the not the fuel filter, but it's the engine filter. So yeah. So I used the brake cleaner to clean the outside of the engine oil compartment, just so everything is clean. There's no gunk and something like there. I just like it, to clean it once in a while or once I do my engine oil changes. So I rarely clean at the bottom. I think most of us rarely clean the bottom of our car, because I'm not quite sure if it's actually good to do that or not, but you can always let me know whether it's good or bad. I know there's some electrical that's quite sensitive there for water, so that might be. And it's quite hard to actually kind of go down there to use your pressure washer to read. So, but like I said, there might be some stuff too that you don't want to get wet. So in this case, I use my wrench to tighten the bolt. So like I said, lefty loosey, righty tighty. So in this case, you're going to tighten it so it's on the right side. Okay, so that's perfect, I think. So now I'm going to do the filter, which I totally forgot to do that while I did my engine oil. Well, this is my first time to actually video or take a record of how I do my engine oil change, but normally I do it together. But yeah, sometimes it can be very, very hard to take out, but just be patient. It will go out. And see, there's still drippings from the filter, so you kind of have to wait a little bit, or you can clean it out. So there's the old one with all the old engine oil in the pan. So yeah, usually I just clean it and before I put the new filter. So yeah, it might look a little bit tight to you at the bottom here, but it was a little bit roomy for me. And I'm kind of short woman too, so but I honestly really like doing stuff like this. I do enjoy a whole lot doing this, so other people would always say, why not just, pay somebody to do it for me? But in my case, I really do enjoy this. I do enjoy the engine oil changes. I do my tire changes, which I really enjoy. It feels like I'm doing exercise, but at the same time also I'm doing something that I've always been wanting to do, even before, to actually know how to do this small maintenance too. So when you're out and about and something is wrong with your car, at least you kind of have an idea, right? So, but yeah, I've always been meaning to do this before, and I'm so glad that I've learned it. And I've been doing it ever since. So if I'm not mistaken, this is my 4th engine oil change, which I think I'm going to be doing still. Okay, now that we have put everything, all the fuel filter and the engine oil, we're gonna try and put the car down. Did I actually show you to put the filter? I must have like forgotten to take a video of that, but yeah, I did actually put that one down. So in this case, we're just gonna put this down and make sure you take those jacks out of the way before you release the hydraulic. But it's a little bit tight right there, but I managed to do that one because you can just hold the pin. See, I totally forgot how to do this thing. Yeah, but it was a little bit tight, and there you go. I should have just lifted that one, but man, what do I know sometimes? Okay, so just do it slowly if you can, but in this case I think I do it quite as fast as I'm not supposed to do that. You don't bang your car like that. Okay, so it's a little bit tight. I think I did that one like super quick, but this one releases slowly anyway, and we're gonna put that away. It's just hard sometimes to kind of show you guys because I'm using one hand for my video recording while the other hand is for working. Might not be the safest thing to do, but I did the best I can to do it safely, and I'm really into safety. Okay, so if you can see, there's the gasket there for my engine. I took that one out. And put the gasket back. It's a little bit old, hey? So yeah, I make sure that I clean the outside of the engine bay just so I don't have any of those residues going back in there. And I've learned that actually from YouTube too. And there's so many good resources out here. I'm just showing you guys how I do it, but you know, there's tons of resources out there. And you can also ask some of your guy friends or your dad, you know, to show you how to do this. It's always a good skill to know this, you know, kind of know exactly, or not probably the whole thing about your car, but at least you do have the know-how on how to do this, and you kind of really appreciate more your car and take care of it. There you go. I'm just gonna put my gasket back to the lock, and we are now ready to put our engine oil. We're gonna make sure too, you know, once you do this stuff here, it might take some long time, but at the beginning, but once you're used to it, it will be a lot easier. So yeah, I just have fun too while you're doing this, because I do all the time. So probably gonna show you how to do the one it was in separate recording from my camera. So in this case here, I have finished filling up my engine compartment with the new oil, and I've gotten that one close too. So after this, we're gonna check through our dipstick if we have the proper amount of engine. oil. Okay. So after filling the oil, we're gonna start our car right now. Or start our engine to circulate the oil and soak the filter with oil. And we're gonna wait for a little bit to make that circulation. Maybe around like 3 minutes, 5 minutes. So that will be enough time for you to kind of know that it's good enough, that it has already properly circulated there. So yeah. I do have a separate videos actually of how I actually put all of those stuff, but in here I'll show you how to reset the oil life display in your car. In my case, it's a 2010, so it has its own gauge for the oil life, and I'll show you later on how to do that exactly. So, but here I'm showing you through the operator's manual for my Honda Civic, and I think if I'm not mistaken, it's page 284. So you're gonna push 15 seconds the cell reset button in your car, which is on the left side of the driver's seat. So just 10 to 15 minutes, and there you go. It's now 100%, and that repair button there has disappeared completely. And like I said, I do my other fluid change checks too while I do my oil changes. But I do record the time and the date when I last replaced my engine oil, just so I know when's the next due for that. So I use a full synthetic engine oil, so it's good for the next 12,000 kilometers. Or you can change it to 6 months, I believe so. I think that's good for 6 months. Whichever comes first. So yeah, I've changed my engine oil and at 222,184 kilometers on March 27, 2021. That is today.